Hey YouTube, what's going on? So I just figured I'd make a quick video here. It is June 12th. Yes, June 12th, 2025. It's 105 days, I believe, since I've been on the road. And just wanted to do kind of a review of how it's been. Very impromptu kind of little thing for some questions that I've been asked by a few people here and there about, how I'm feeling about the trip so far. Am I liking it? How's the gear working out? How's the camper? How's the Jeep? You know, just general questions. And also, maybe like 10 years from now, if God willing I live that long, I can look back at this video and say, wow, yeah, that was so and so, that was this and that, whatever. But yeah, so first about myself. I've been asked, how do I feel, after 100 and something days of traveling? Am I tired of it already? Am I run down from it? Am I still in good spirits? Blah, blah, blah. So the short answer is it's the greatest thing I've ever done. I feel great. I mean, the last year and a half of when I was living in Florida, working and just humdrum every day, normal. I was sleeping a lot because I guess I was like, just over the routine of that kind of life. And so, yeah, now I feel, I mean, I'm energetic. I'm not sleeping all day long, on my days off, and on my days off, like I was in Florida when I was working. I get up in the morning, I'm happy. I don't eat as much. I guess I was stress eating. I've lost almost 20 pounds. Yeah, I feel good. Personally, mentally, physically, I feel the best I've felt probably in my whole life. So that's the part about me. Um, when Kathy and I took 2 months last year and decided, we both felt the best. And when we decided, should be our life, we went ahead and we upgraded from the Tacoma to the Jeep and from the smaller camper to the bigger one. Mostly because it was going to be full time. And, Kathy being a female, she wanted a few more amenities than, the average guy needed. And she was so great. She loved the woods. She didn't mind, using the bathroom in the woods, showering outdoors. She loved it. But in long term, yeah. So we got something a little bit bigger. And the Jeep, yeah, the Jeep is something I kind of wanted, more capable, do more trails and do easier, blah, blah, blah. So how is that working out just now? For me, of course, after Kathy passed away, going totally on my own. So how's the stuff working out? Well, let's start with the camper. The camper is amazing. It's got great suspension. It rides so smooth. I mean, nothing falls off the shelves, even on a rough highway or a rough trail. It's comfortable. I built the bed in there out of plywood and a really good mattress and made it for me. So yeah, it's very comfortable. Everything's been working great. Very little has failed. I had one water leak I had to fix. The typical little things that you would do at home sometimes. So the camper is great. What about the Jeep? The Jeep is fantastic. It does trails like a tank. I mean, it's amazing. Um, is this rig practical, sustainable for long term? This is going to be the rest of my life. Is living, traveling, and being in spots like this. Is it for me sustainable to keep this rig? No, no. The Jeep is great, and I love doing the off-road trails. But I've done them. I've been there. I've done that. And the bottom line is 98% of what I do, I don't need four-wheel drive. The spots I get to, I don't need a built rig like that. When I was on top of the Grand Canyon, I could have easily made that in a stock pickup truck or an SUV. Never used four-wheel drive. Um, yeah, unless I'm doing 4x4 trails that are specifically designed to be tough 4x4 trails, like I said, 98% of the places I go, I don't need a built rig like that. So yeah, towing this 4,000-pound brick, which, like I said, it's a beautiful RV. I love it, but it's a 4,000-pound brick. I don't need that much room. This is where I am 90% of the time when I'm not doing something. I'm just relaxing. I'm out here. I'm out here almost all day, into the evening, into the night. Then I go inside if, when it gets cold or too windy or whatever, and I watch a couple of videos inside. I go to sleep. I get up in the morning, I have my coffee out here, I eat all day out here, I cook out here. I'm outside, that's what I want to be. So I don't need all this. Well, what would be the alternative? And I'm learning a lot being on the road, going to these expos, talking to other people, seeing how other full-timers do it. And to me, I have found that the best and practical way now is a van, a high top, maybe like a Sprinter van or a ProMaster or, one of those type of vans is going to be, sorry, it's got really dusty here all of a sudden. Must be somebody drove by. But it's been very dry here. Anyway, where was I? The van. I've met a bunch of people with the high top vans, and a few of them have had theirs lifted a little bit, put a little bit bigger off-road tires on it. You don't want some cheap street tires that you're going to puncture the first time you hit a little sharp rock. But they live out of it. There's plenty of room in them. When you want to go explore a town, for example, sure, I can set up a base camp like this and I can drive to town and explore it. Then I have to come back here, though, because this is where my base camp is. If I was in a van, I could drive the 30 miles into town, explore the town, and then go to the next place. If I wanted to stealth camp and just go to a Walmart parking lot for the night because it's getting late and I want to see more of the town the next day. It's hard to do in this, they allow it in most places, but a van is much more stealth. Pulling this brick right now, I'm getting between 10 and 11 miles to the gallon in the Jeep. That's not sustainable. When I first started this venture, it was supposed to be Kathy and I, 2 incomes. Well, now we're down to 1 income and some savings, and I don't want to blow through the savings. So, yeah, this 10, 11 miles to the gallon is not sustainable. Some of those Sprinter vans, even fully loaded with the turbo diesels in them, 22, 23, 24 miles to the gallon, that would be a blessing. More than half, more than twice the mileage that I'm getting now. Even if it was, 16 miles to the gallon, that would be at least sustainable. So, am I going to keep this rig? I'm going to finish out, till November. The 1st of November, I plan to go back to Florida for the winter for about 4 months. And yeah, unless something changes, I think I'm going to get rid of this rig. I can make money on the Jeep, and I can hopefully break even on the camper. And yeah, I'm going to look into a van. We'll see. Don't know yet. 5 more months. A friend of mine says I change my mind every time the wind blows in a different direction. And hey, my life is not boring. So yeah, that could be a plan. But like I said, for the next 5 months, I'm going to enjoy what I have. Gas mileage be damned. It is what it is for another 5 months. It's not like I'm not going to travel to save on gas. I have enough savings if I can cover that. And finally, I know I'm going to get into my finances. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see the country for another 5 months. I'm not going to worry about, what I'm spending too much. That'll come next year when I start my journey again in February. There'll be more of a budget. There'll still be a lot of travel and a lot of things, but by then I will have everything I need. Like, for example, now, I'm looking into maybe buying a Scottle. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's a cooking device that just looks like a lot of fun and very convenient. So, like $500 for the whole kit. A couple other little things I'm looking into, but by next year I will have everything I need. And then that's another thing, insurance. I've got to keep insurance on both of these, where on a van it would be half as much money. Yeah, I'm going to have to get on a budget next year. Not a tight budget. I do okay. But like I said, I only have 1 income now, so I have to get on a budget. like I said, not a tight budget, but more of a budget than on this year. This year I'm just spending, too much. But anyway, so that's the plan. I will keep making videos for the next 5 months of all the places I go and enjoy. And if anybody's interested in watching them, please do. Maybe people that can't get out, like a couple of friends of mine, have told me, they're kind of living through me. Wish they could be here, but and if not, like I said, this is kind of a personal diary, you might want to call it, for me, that I can look back at. Somebody suggested, oh, write down this and write down that. I'm not a write down kind of person. I just click and, do a video that I can look back at 10 years from now and look at myself and say, hey, look, you were younger back then. All right, I don't want to make this a long video because it's going to bore people to death. And it's going to bore me to death when I rewatch it, God willing, 10, 15 years from now. But that's where I stand right now. Anybody watching, thank you, and we'll see you on the journey.